Hey everyone, I want to do a quick video. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this a video on my regular YouTube channel or put it out here on Facebook. So the purpose of this video is to give some of you gift ideas for the man in your life, but more specifically, not gift ideas in general, but a gift idea around one central hobby that I have taken up and really enjoy. It's a hobby slash necessity, unless you just have a full beard and don't ever shave anywhere on your face. And so, what I'm talking about here is getting the man in your life, whether it's a husband, boyfriend, son, nephew, uncle, whoever, into what us in the hobby call traditional wet shaving. Now, you're probably familiar with the cartridge razors now that people use. Like, you go and either buy like a disposable razor where you throw away the whole handle and the razor blades, or you go and buy cartridges to go on top of a handle. So you buy the handle and a cartridge, but then you have to replace the cartridges. And those blades, those cartridges have like 3, 4, 5, 6 razors in them, razor blades. It's different with traditional wet shaving. We're not using that. Now, some people use, and this was actually one that's not been restored or anything, so this is not one I would even think about shaving with. Some people would go back to the old type straight razors. That's not what I'm suggesting here, particularly for a beginner. Now, you could work up into that. I'm suggesting what is known as a double edge safety razor. Now, the reason it's called a double edge safety razor is because a razor blade, like if you can see this box of Persona Platinums, a razor blade has a edge up here and an edge at the bottom. And so when you put that into a double edge safety razor, I'm going to take this one apart, then the blade, as you can see here, it has sharp on the bottom and the top. And so as you're shaving, and this is how these go together, it's just the bottom goes like that, and then it just screws back on there. Okay, this is what would be called a three-piece razor because you have the handle, a top plate, and the bottom plate. And so now you can shave with one side and then rotate over to the other side and shave. There are other safety razors, double-edged safety razors, that make it a little easier to load. You're not having to take it apart and hold like two pieces. There's these that are butterfly opening, and if you just twist them, these little pod bay doors open, and you can drop the razor blade right in there and close that up. Okay. Now, that's just the razor part. The sort of fun, relaxing, self-care, like chill out part of traditional wet shaving is using either a soap or a cream with a traditional type shaving brush. This is the first one that I ever purchased. This is a Perfecto off of Amazon. It's a sort of a low-end badger brush. Brushes come either in synthetic materials or natural materials, more specifically usually boar or badger hair. There are synthetic ones made of all kinds of different synthetic material, like this relatively cheap one from Omega. But they can get elaborate too. You can get like a more higher end badger like this one, or this is one that's less than $20. It's a synthetic and has a longer handle. And there's even some that are really have really nice handles that are kind of ornate, that are from different artisans. Okay, so that brush you would use along with like a bowl. So there are cheaper bowls like this one that's like $10. This one I've taken like say a sample from a small sample size, because you try those out sometimes to see what fragrances you like. And you would just basically build your lather in the bowl. And so there's low-end bowls like this one, like I said, that's like $10, $12. And then there are more higher-end bowls that are a nice gift. And this is like more like $30. And you don't necessarily have to have a bowl as long as you have a soap that you can lather off of. So some of these artisan companies, meaning small businesses, this one is called Sterling out of Arkansas. They make shaving soaps, and sort of kind of like a boutique shaving soap industry, which we would call the artisan shaving soap industry. And you can actually load your brush right off of the puck this way, right? And then you can build a face lather. There's two primary ways to build lathers in wet shaving. You can build a face lather by getting the soap on the brush, like just getting the soap on the brush, but not getting it real built up into a lather. And then you can swirl and build up a lather on your face, or you can put the soap in a bowl and then whip it up in the bowl and then apply the lather. Okay. And then of course you go into shaving. And I have a video that I'll link to that shows much more and talks much more about what wet shaving is all about. I have a YouTube channel that's all about wet shaving, which will be a surprise to some of you all. It's kind of an obsessive hobby. So, it may weird people out that there's like videos of that people watch of like men shaving. That may seem weird to people, but it's become a hobby that I really enjoy because I find it really, really relaxing. It's something you have to do anyway. And so it forces you to sort of slow down and do some things that are really intentional in your life. Take some time for you, enjoy some different scents that you enjoy. And so after the shave, post-shave products. Now, you're probably familiar, let me get back to shaving soap, shaving cream real quick. You're probably familiar with this kind of thing, right? This goo. You want to stay away from that. There's some stuff in here not good for your skin. This is not good for an environment, a variety of things, but it's traditional. And if you could start with that with just a double-edged safety razor, but I would suggest at least getting into the brush world. Now, an easy way to get someone into traditional wet shaving is like cream like this from Cremo. I noticed Walmart has Christmas gift packages right now that have like a sampler of 4 different scents that are small, this size. You could get those and use them in a bowl. Even you can even go to the pet food section at Walmart and like get a small pet food bowl for like $1 and use that as a shave bowl. And so they could you could start them out that way. So the creams are really easy to build a lather. And I have again a whole video that talks about building the lathers and stuff like that. This is a real traditional one. I showed you the bigger size tubs. Here's a more traditional soap that's Parasso, which is a larger company out of Italy, but a very common soap in the wet shaving world. And so much smaller tub, but you can dip this out into a bowl, or you can just load off of here. Here's a really tiny travel brush. You can just load right off of this and then build the face lather. So now to the post shave. You're probably familiar with things like this blue goo, right? So like this is a common kind of thing. There's higher end stuff like Gillette's gels and stuff like that, but you're probably familiar with like a balm like this, or like Skin Bracer, which I still use. I loved it quite a bit. My granddad used that a lot. And you're probably familiar with things like Aqua Velva Musk, or say Old Spice, right? Or maybe even like the traditional Brute, right? But one that's really classic, you can find this at Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere, is Pinaud Clubman. That's one that's kind of, I would consider more on the hobbyist end of aftershaves, but it's still like $6 or something like that. But just like there are artisan soap makers like Sterling, and there's a bunch of these out there, they also make aftershave products like witch hazel and aloe splashes, and like alcohol-based splashes. So like this, for example, this one is a British leather scent, so it's like Old English leather. This one's coniferous, so it's like an evergreen scent. This soap that I showed you is like a sandalwood, which is really nice. So in addition to the artisan aftershave products, just like Parasso, one of the larger companies, makes soaps, they make like the alcohol-based splashes and then the balms, so you can get those as well. So I give you a buying guide. I have a complete buying guide to show you how to get started. I have a package put together that you can even get like on Amazon, and it'd be really quick, and you could get it before Christmas. But also have like a variety of options you can look at if you want to spend a little more, spend a little less. But anyway, this is a hobby that I love, and a lot of other men love, as you'll see evidenced if you get to look at all into the wet shaving community. There's forums and there's tons of YouTube channels, but it's a really relaxing hobby. Now, let me say this. You will hear a lie from a lot of people in the shaving community that say, oh, this is much cheaper. And yes, buying a pack of these or even like a pack of 100 of these is much cheaper than buying cartridges to go in razors. So yes, theoretically you can save money, but this hobby will lead you into different soaps and different brushes. Excuse me, that can obviously rack up like how much money you might spend on it. So you have to limit yourself. And now, so it's possible to get like a low end brush and soap and a really cheap razor and like the cat food bowl, or even like this, and say some balm, right? And so what are we looking at here? We're looking at like a so for like about 30 to 40 bucks, you could get somebody into wet shaving, and they could stay right here in this realm and not expand beyond that, right? But it is kind of fun. There's different soaps out there that you can get into, and like right now on my YouTube channel, I'm doing the 12 Shaves of Christmas, featuring soaps that remind me of Christmas time. Anyway, so some of you will find this really weird, and but some of you are really looking for a gift idea for a man in your life, and I can just tell you that this hobby has brought a lot of enjoyment into my life. It does take a little longer to shave this way, but that's kind of the point, is to sort of enjoy it. And one of the big reasons that I enjoy it is it reminds me of my dad and my grandfathers, and sort of connects me to the men in my life that have been mentors to me, and sort of the scents I smelled growing up. And so it's just sort of a way to, if you will, connect to masculinity and to be a part of a hobby that men share, that's not toxic in any way, and it's a really good community. People really encourage each other and help each other. It's just a fun hobby to get into, and like I said, it has a practical purpose, and it also just has men sort of take time for themselves to like try to care for their skin, to try to like relax, enjoy like essential oils, because a lot of these have essential oils in them, and so you can get the benefits that research has backed up on essential oils. So I've talked enough. I'm going to stop. But in the description below, you'll find a buying guide for Christmas if you want to get someone into wet shaving. And like I said, you can get them in for a low investment. See if they like it, and if they don't like it, they can go back to the old way of shaving with goo and those horrible cartridge razors. Not that I'm biased or anything. And they may love it and progress into going to a more high-end brush, and say a straight razor or a nicer razor, and some of the more artisan aftershaves. But like this aftershave from Sterling is like 10, 12 bucks. Same thing with their balms and their splashes. So it's really a hobby that there's a sort of I guess easy entry, not much investment to get into, and then you can see if you want to go beyond that, or if they want to go beyond that. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. Just want to put this video out there real quick and see if anybody might be interested in this for someone. I may do another video for my channel that's just gift ideas for men in general, and put that out there it's not related to wet shaving. But yeah, I hope maybe somebody finds this useful if you're stuck with a gift idea, or maybe you're just watching this, you're a man and you're interested in getting into it yourself. This is sort of a good entryway into it. So again, check out the buying guide down below. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And thanks for watching.